Good morning and welcome to the CSP New Commerce Experience Update. My name is John Gorton, the head of the Microsoft Practice and Solutions at Bytes. And I'm going to take you through some updates since the last NCE update that we did, which was back in October, November timeframe, just to take you through what Microsoft are changing with regards to the CSP program. You'll be muted throughout the session, the webinar, but if you do have any questions, please pop them into the chat window or the Q&A window, and we'll answer those at the end of the session. There is a survey at the end of the session. If you wouldn't mind, that'd be great if you could complete that. It's only a few questions. So moving swiftly into, if we look back over the years, we can see that Microsoft's volume licensing programs have evolved continuously. If we think back before Microsoft launched the enterprise agreement way back when, we had just the open license agreement, which was really designed for SMB customers, and the select agreement, which was for medium and large organizations. Back then, those programs were designed for on-premises software only, so they didn't include cloud. It wasn't a concept back then, and obviously as things have evolved with the customers buying more cloud product today than on-premises software, Microsoft's programs have obviously had to evolve. Microsoft are on a mission now to simplify how you buy and modernize the tools and systems that you, Microsoft, and its partners such as Bytes use to transact. As you're probably more than aware, there are several places where you go to manage licenses, from the M365 Admin Center through to VLSC, and likewise, we as partners have multiple tools that we use as well. So this is where the Microsoft's new commerce experience comes in, and their new commerce platform. So you may have heard or seen it as referred to, sorry, go back one side, as new modern commerce in the past. Simply put, it's Microsoft's present and future direction of how Microsoft sells cloud products and services to its customers. And that's both directly from Microsoft and through partners such as Bytes. If you've got an Azure plan subscription or by perpetual software or service subscriptions, Azure reservations or third-party marketplace offers through CSP, then those subscriptions are already on the new commerce platform. So Microsoft's expanding the new commerce platform and the cloud portfolio by moving seat-based offers such as Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, Power Platform, and Windows 365 onto its new commerce platform. So I mentioned, for years, Microsoft have had multiple routes to market with loads of different volume license agreements. Each one of those comes with its own rules and set of terms and conditions. Many of them, such as the EA and Select Plus and Open License, sit on the old commerce platform, which were, like I said, designed for on-premises software, which now need to be modernized. So what modern commerce experience means to Microsoft is the modernization of their volume license programs. Essentially, Nirvana is into three routes to market, all running on their new commerce platform. So you'll see on the right-hand side, we've got three pillars. We've got the breadth motion, which is the CSP through partner. We've got the enterprise, which is essentially the enterprise agreement as we know it today. And we've got self-serve over on the right-hand side, which is if you want to buy directly from Microsoft, you can obviously do so. So each one of those has kind of different levels. So the CSP program is really designed for organizations with up to 2,400 users. Enterprise, where you need maybe custom terms and conditions, still exists and will exist for the foreseeable future, where you can potentially get custom terms and conditions. And then self-serve is where you don't need a partner's assistance, don't need any Microsoft assistance, you just want to buy a product. That option is there as well. So it's a Microsoft blog, but a partner kind of facing blog. But there's a link at the bottom of the screen there. If you want kind of to get more information on where Microsoft are going with modern commerce and modernizing their volume licensing programs, feel free to have a look at that that blog. So, NCE is effectively the next phase of modernizing the cloud solution provider program, or CSP. So, as mentioned, Azure, perpetual software, software subscriptions, RIs, etc., they're already on the modern commerce platform within the CSP program. This next phase is to move the remaining products, so the per seat-based offers, over to the modern commerce platform. And at the same time, Microsoft are using this to update its terms and conditions, which include the introduction and enforcement of a cancellation policy, which has a significant impact on the options that you have available through the CSP program. And I'll talk more about what they look like. So let's look at specifically at what this release includes. So the new NCE terms launched in the CSP program on the 10th of January, which was actually pushed back from its original planned date of the 10th of October last year. If you're looking to purchase an NCE offer, you'll first need to accept the updated terms. They can be found within the Bytes Cloud dashboard, so when you log into it, you'll clearly see an NCE offer, and you'll be presented with the new terms and conditions. If you want to have a pre-read of those, then contact your Bytes account manager. They'll be able to send you a copy of those so you can have a look at them. But essentially, it just includes the new terms and conditions relating to things like the new cancellation policy, the promos cap at 2,400 users, and a few other bits. And I'll talk about the promos cap in a minute. So Microsoft have broken down this release into two phases. The initial release, which happened on the 10th of January, and another which is due in March. So if we look at what's available now, there's a new monthly term offer which provides you with the flexibility that you've kind of been used to in CSP. Talk about that in a sec. For Dynamics 365 only, there is a 36-month offer, which basically allows you to lock prices for 36 months. In March, Microsoft will be expanding that to include specific M365 offers as well. Billing is now aligned with the calendar month. So those of you that have received invoices from Bytes in the past, it was slightly misaligned. Now we will issue a calendar month invoice, which includes anything that you've obviously purchased mid-month. Makes obviously understanding the invoice a lot easier. With regards to exclusive new offers, Microsoft plan on releasing new offers in CSP that perhaps won't be available through other volume licensing programs. So exclusive new offers there for the CSP. There's now the ability to toggle between auto renew on and off. So you may have seen when you provision a product or subscription within the cloud dashboard, previously they just auto renewed, and unless you notified your Bytes account manager that you no longer want the product or reduce the quantity down. You've now got the option of leaving it on, which is the default, or switching it off so that at the end of the offer duration, it simply won't renew. Obviously, there's a slight risk with that if you switch it off by mistake. That is now a feature and available to you within the Bytes Cloud dashboard. And then finally, there are two launch promotions, which I'll talk about in some more detail in a few slides. So then coming in March, there'll be new 36-month offers for Microsoft 365, as I mentioned. You'll be able to convert trials into paid-for subscriptions. So at the moment, if you, let's say, purchase a trial, if you provision a trial, it expires after its kind of 30-day term, and then you need to go in and buy paid-for users if you're looking, obviously, to carry on with that product. Now, it will simply convert into a paid for subscription. So no reassignment of licenses, no having to go in and kind of double provision stuff. Something that Microsoft are calling the hybrid use benefit, which is not to be confused with the hybrid benefit in Azure, but is actually the rights to use on-premises productivity servers when buying Microsoft 365 licenses. So it's something that's available to you if you were to purchase via the enterprise agreement today, which hasn't been available in CSP up until when it launches in March. So we're starting to see a lot more alignment between the enterprise agreement and the CSP program now. You know, with that in mind, there will be new communications offers. So if you're familiar with communication credits, so for Teams telephony, it's basically pay-as-you-go consumption within Teams. So you can buy calling plans for Teams, or you can simply purchase communications credits, which you basically build for in arrears based on actual consumption of minutes. So again, that's an EA, something that's in the EA today, but hasn't been available in CSP. And then multi-geo capabilities, and again, another EA offer coming to CSP. This one essentially allows you to take a replica of your local data and perhaps store it in another Microsoft data center across the other side of the world. So that if you, let me give you an example, if you've got a UK data center and maybe you've got some Australian users, those Australian users today obviously will need to access their data from the UK data center. What the multi-geo capability does is replicates all of that data and stores it locally within the Australia data center so that those users are only accessing it locally. Again, that's an EA thing that's coming to CSP. So obviously it removes that latency of those users accessing data halfway around the world. We'll be able to schedule upgrades. So for example, if you know that you want to, upon expiry of your current subscriptions, you want to upgrade from Microsoft 365 E3 to E5, you can schedule that ahead of time so that it just naturally happens at a certain period. And finally, there'll be the ability to align subscription dates to a specific date rather than having stuff expiring all over the place. So I mentioned, the cancellation policy, and this is quite a significant change with the CSP program. So previously in CSP, there were two offer durations available, so a 12-month or annual commitment, and for Dynamics 365, there was a 36-month commitment. Both were available with various different payment terms, so you could pay annual upfront or monthly. However, because Microsoft never enforced a cancellation policy, you had the ability to essentially reduce quantities or cancel subscriptions at any point in time. So if you think about that annual commitment, that's what was giving you the price protection for 12 months, so that when you bought a product, the price wouldn't change during that 12-month term. But because of the lack of cancellation enforcement, you had the flexibility to adjust quantities whenever you like. So moving forwards, what Microsoft are doing is introducing a cancellation policy whereby outside of the first 24 hours, you cannot cancel any subscriptions. And with that, you also can't reduce subscriptions. Okay, so really important note there. There is a new monthly term offer, so commitment of 1 month. After that 1 month, you can adjust the quantities, and let me show you what that looks like. So moving forwards, we're going to have 3 commitment durations in CSP. So there'll be a 1 month, 12 month, and 36-month commitments. The monthly duration, which essentially doesn't have any commitments beyond 1 month, does come with a price premium of around about 20%. So Previously, as I said, you would have purchased annual commitment term offers in CSP, which locked the price for 12 months, and that's what gave you that flexibility. The 1 month still has that flexibility, but as I said, it includes that 20% price premium. If you're making a 12-month commitment, the price is locked for 12 months. You will have payment options, which you will include monthly billing for the monthly offer or upfront billing for the 12 and 36-month commitments. We may be able to offer monthly billing for the 12 and 36-month offer commitments, but they will be subject to an advanced credit check. And the reason for that is because of that cancellation policy. So if we look at the pricing and the way Microsoft is pushing its pricing model, the new subscription lineup is now in line with kind of Microsoft.com and other industries whereby you would receive a discount for making an annual commitment. But if you're just simply subscribing to the monthly commitment and nothing beyond that, there will be a price premium. So in this example here, you've got Microsoft 365 Business Basic, £3.80 per user per month with an annual commitment, or £4.50 if you just want to have a monthly commitment, so nothing beyond 1 month. This screen snip actually was directly from the Microsoft website, so the same concept will apply to CSP moving forwards. So let's move on to promotions. So Microsoft are running 2 launch promotions. For the new monthly offer, Microsoft are discounting it by 16.7% to match the previous CSP annual price. So that's going to provide, it's going to provide you with the flexibility that you've kind of been used to in CSP at the same price as kind of legacy CSP, if you call it that. However, there are a couple of caveats. So because the commitment is only 1 month on a monthly offer, there is no price lock beyond that 1 month. So what that means is from March, the price, if it's Microsoft 365, will increase as per the Microsoft 365 commercial price increases, which I will come on to in a second. Also, once the promotion period finishes at the end of June, the price will increase again as it will revert to the standard price list price, which obviously doesn't include that 16.7% reduction. So the promo is capped at 2,400 seats, regardless of which partner you buy through. This is a design limitation from Microsoft, which is technically enforced. So there is a check done when you're purchasing a product, which looks at your tenant and looks to see how many of a certain promo part code that you've already bought, and will effectively allow you to buy up to 2,400 seats of that particular promotion. Then we've got a 5% discount for the annual commitment offers. Now, these allow you to lock the promotional pricing for a 12-month period. And what we're doing is suggesting to customers that you should use this to lock pricing before the commercial price increase, which comes into effect in March. And also, because it gives you a 5% discount, use that to lock a 5% saving in for the next 12 months. So once you've locked the price, you can add additional quantities of the same product at that locked in price for 12 months for the duration of that 12-month subscription. So it says on screen that the promotion ends in March 2022. If you think about that as the promo eligibility period, so if you buy a 5% discount offer between January and March, it will lock pricing for 12 months. You just need to buy it before, obviously, the promotion expires. So in terms of our cloud dashboard, just to run through, kind of how that looks, you can see a list of all of the available promotions just by clicking on the promotions tab from within the tenant dashboard. Clicking on a product name then takes you through to the details page. If you're browsing for products, you'll be able to see or clearly identify kind of the NCE products and those which have a promotion attached to them by the little pills that are shown on the screen now. Once you're into the product itself, you can see the details of the promotion. So example here, we've got 5% discount and we've got the end date on the promotion term. So if I take you through kind of the timeline of events, it's important to look through this one. So not specific to new commerce or CSP, but it's important to note that on the 1st of March, there is the commercial price increase on some Microsoft 365 and Office 365 products. So if I just move to the next slide quickly, I'll just show you this one. So this is the text taken directly from the Microsoft announcement. Again, I've posted the link on the slide here for you to have a look at. But essentially, Microsoft are making their first significant price increase on Microsoft 365 for a number of years, actually. You see the US dollar increases on the right-hand side there. It is only the specific product we're told at this time. So until we get a kind of a preview of the March price list, that's what we believe is the increase here. So if you're buying Microsoft 365 E3, Office 365 E5, E3 or E1, or one of the SMB business basic or premium part codes, then we strongly encourage you to price lock before that pricing takes effect, which is on the 1st of March. So purchase today or certainly before the end of February to lock prices for those products. I'll talk through some scenarios in a few slides time where hopefully I'll kind of give you some ideas of what is possible. So where are we? So yeah, so looking at the timeline, available today, we've got the annual commitment promotion, which, as I said, reduces the price by 5%. That's available until the 31st of March. The monthly commitment promotion reduces the price so it's in line with the annual price. Obviously not for the 5%, but the legacy annual price. In March, we'll see that new, we'll see the new offers come out. So the 36-month Microsoft 365 offers, plus the multi-geo capabilities, communication credits, and so on. Unfortunately, Microsoft's timing on the release date of those 36 months offers means that they're released at the same time that the price increase happens. So unfortunately, you won't be able to lock for 36 months based on the 5% promo kind of pre-Microsoft 365 price increase. From 1st of March, it's a really important date. Any new purchases in CSP for products that you haven't already bought will go through with the new commerce experience terms and conditions. So the cancellation policy will apply. So that's new products and also anything that's expiring that then needs to be renewed. So there are some options to potentially renew early, which I'll come on to, but just bear that in mind. If you do a price lock, then the price is fixed. You can continue to amend quantities of any existing legacy products until they expire or until the end of December, whichever is soonest. So if we look at that December timeframe, so by the end of the year, or certainly from the 1st of January 2023, we're going to move all of our customers from, if you've got any legacy subscriptions still around, we'll move those and work with you to move them to the new commerce experience. So from 1st of January, everything will be on the new commerce experience. So if we look at some scenarios, so hopefully I won't lose you with these. So yep, price increase, Microsoft 365, Office 365, 1st of March. So potentially renew before then. So it's previously explained that before or from 1st of March, we won't be able to buy any new or renewal legacy CSP offers. So you'll need to move those, start buying through the new commerce experience. So we've got a few options. So you can start a new legacy subscription before the end of February. You could do an early renewal by increasing the quantity in a new subscription and effectively reducing or cancelling the expiring one. So that'll extend the time that you've got available through you in legacy with that flexibility through to the end of December. Okay, so that's one option. If you need full flexibility and happy paying the kind of current price, that's one option. Or you could start a new commerce experience subscription in CSP and take advantage of the 5% promotion. So create that, increase the quantity in that new subscription, and again reduce it in that legacy expiring one. Or you could do a combination of the two. So you can have some in a legacy subscription, so again create a new one for in February that then lasts up until the end of December, and also create a new commerce experience subscription for the same product for a given quantity that you choose. Though that quantity will take advantage of the 5% promo, and that will last for a full 12 months actually, not just until the end of December. So let me try and walk you through a few scenarios. So scenario one is maintain kind of maximum flexibility. So here, this example, I've got 1,000 users which expire in February. You could renew 999 of them into a new legacy CSP subscription, which starts before the end of February. That will then run up until the end of 2022, which will give you full flexibility on those 999 users. At the same time, you could create a new commerce experience subscription for a quantity of 1. That will lock in the March the 1st price increase price, and also include a 5% discount on the annual price. At the end of December 2022, you could essentially drop those 999 expired licenses into that new commerce experience subscription. You'll pay the same price as you paid back in February, so for that one quantity of 1. So it'll be the same 5% discount, and it'll be the pre-Microsoft 365 commercial price increase price. At any point, you could drop additional quantities into that new commerce experience subscription, and again take advantage of that 5% promotion at any point. So if you wanted to increase the prices. Difference between the two, obviously, as I said, kind of mentioned previously, is you have the full flexibility with the legacy subscriptions. The new commerce ones are committed for that 12-month period, so you can't change or reduce down, I should say, those quantities. You are committed for that 12-month period. And then at the end of Feb next year, you could choose to renew everything into, again, a new commerce experience. It will just become the kind of the business as usual at that point. We don't know, obviously, at that point whether there's going to be any promotions in place. So assuming not, they'll just renew without that 5% discount. And then here we've got another example. Again, I've used 1,000 users of Microsoft 365 E3, let's just say as an example. This is in a current CSP legacy subscription, which expires at the end of April. So what you could do is reduce down, because you've got that flexibility of doing so, at the end of Feb to, reduce down to 0 essentially. And at the same time, renew or renew all of those 1,000 subscriptions into a new NCE subscription, taking advantage of the 5% discount. And then obviously at the end of that 12 months, renew it once again. Well, finally, I've done kind of a bit of a mix of the flexible licenses and base licenses. So if you think about this one, if you know you've got a number of users, a quantity of users that isn't really going to change, fix those for 12 months and maybe buy flexible licenses to give you a buffer to allow you to flex up and down. So if we think 1,000 users, once again, again, it's an April expiry date, but I've brought this forward to February. I've renewed 250 users in a legacy subscription, and I'm going to buy the other 750 through fixed term annual commitment, but which include the 5% discount. And then once those 250 expire, I'm going to renew them into a new commerce monthly term offer, which still gives me that flexibility in the future, but obviously includes a 20% price premium. So just some key points just to remember. You'll be able to purchase under the legacy model up until the end of Feb. Annual term subscriptions will only run up until the end of December, at which point obviously you'll need to move to NCE as I've described. NCE offers are available now, and you can purchase both offers, so the monthly term, the subscription-based offers, and run them side by side. From the 1st of March, any new purchases or renewals must be done through the new commerce experience. There is that commercial price increase coming in March, so secure pricing before then. And actually, that's not just unique to CSP. If you buy through enterprise agreement, that also is applicable there. And just finally on that one is the promotions are capped at 2,400 licenses per customer. So the cancellation window, just to touch on this very, very quickly, in the cloud dashboard, it does show you a countdown of when you can cancel a product. So once you've purchased it, it then gives you the cancellation button on the right-hand side. If you've made a mistake, perhaps it's probably the best way of describing a use scenario. You've perhaps provisioned too many licenses or the wrong product. You do have 24 hours in which to essentially correct that. And also circled at the bottom there is the auto renew toggle that I mentioned earlier. If you've increased quantities, the same kind of cancellation window applies. So you've got the ability to amend quantities. So you might have bought 100 users and then perhaps bought an extra 5 users later on. You'll be able to adjust the quantities of those 5 again within that 24-hour period from the time you purchase those licenses. And that's it from me. Let me just see if we have any questions. So question 1, if a customer goes into liquidation, does Microsoft take into account of this and cease any billing? No, is the short answer on that one. So this is the reason I mentioned, obviously we might offer monthly billing for annual term offers. And the reason we do that advanced credit check is to ensure that we're not at risk should you go into liquidation, because the commitment is to Microsoft for that 12-month duration. So that's the reason we don't make, or perhaps won't make, monthly billing available to all customers. Question 2, if we add licenses during the annual term, do all the licenses expire at the same original end date, or is the term extended? Yeah, great question. So if you think about that subscription as being a container, you can add additional quantities into that container. The container has a one end date. Okay, so anything bought in addition into that container will all expire at the same time, but will benefit from the 5% promotion if you've taken advantage of that. What is the monthly fee for Microsoft 365 Business Premium? I don't know off the top of my head. I'll have to come back to you following this session on that one. What's the pricing implications of a new legacy contract? Assume they're subject to the price increase in March. So you can't buy a new legacy contract from the 1st of March onwards. So the price increase is kind of a moot point there. However, you can buy a legacy subscription up until the end of Feb, but it won't or doesn't come with that 5% promotion. So if you want that 5% promo, there's a new commerce annual commitment offer that you need to order before March if you're buying Microsoft 365 or Office 365, or if it's not and you want to buy a commitment, you've got until the end of March to purchase. Somebody missed scenario 3, but absolutely I will provide all of the slides so you can see all of those scenarios at all. We've got a partner of ours on the call who already has an existing service with another provider. Can the existing tenancy be migrated? So it's an interesting one, and this applies to end customers also. So if you're buying annual commitment offers, you are committing to the partner you've purchased through for 12 months, and obviously to Microsoft, but more importantly is to the partner that you originally bought through. So you can't move from one partner to another midterm like you can today. So that's a really important note to make. What you can do is obviously start buying new stuff for a new partner. So for example, if you wanted to move 2 bytes, you could start transacting new increased quantities through us. And then once the subscriptions expire with your previous partner, of course, you could then renew them through bytes. Yeah, so next question was if we take a license under the new commerce experience, is it payment upfront, or is there an option to do monthly billing? So today we offer monthly billing to all of our customers because we can cancel a subscription at any point. As I said, the monthly billing option in new commerce will be subject to approval based on us doing a credit check, or more advanced credit check, I should say. What's happening to education and not-for-profit? That's a great question. So this is only commercial and government products or customers. Education and not-for-profit or non-profit will be coming later, and actually Microsoft haven't given us a time frame on that at all at the moment. Another question, 5% promotion off the current price or off the new post-March price. So today, the 5% promotion is based on today's price. There will also be for 1 month on from 1st of March to the end, 5% off, which will the then current price, which for Microsoft 365 and Office 365 will have increased as per that price increase slide that I showed you. So you still get 5% off, but it will be of the new price based then. So again, we're encouraging customers to lock before the end of February, just to avoid any risk of having to pay an increased price. I think that is all of the questions. So if anything else comes through, so feel free to continue to drop questions into the message box there, or email your account manager or tell me more at Bytes, and we will pick those up and respond directly to you. So with that, thank you very much for attending. Like I said, I'll provide a copy of the slides following this call for you to take a look at. So appreciate your time. Thank you very much.